Happy Monday, everyone, and happy belated birthday to three amazing gentlemen in my life. We have a birthday celebration going out to Wylie, Joel, and Colton. So big, huge shout out to you guys. Hopefully we can continue your celebration all the way through into the next day, into the next week even. But you guys are pretty special, and I hope this is extra special for you guys. Before we get to the work set, let's talk about our warm-up. Our warm-up is going to consist of a plank to down dog of 3 to 5 reps, side plank of 15 seconds side, forearm plank rock 20 seconds, and an arch hold of 10 to 30 seconds for 2 rounds. After that, we're going to move into the butt kick, pose method running butt kick for 20 seconds, dumbbell deadlift for 5 a side, dumbbell front scale raise for 5 a side, into a dumbbell side scale raise of 5 a side, and a goblet squat of 5 at a 3-1-3 tempo. So nice and slow, getting everything ready to go. Then we're going to move into a practice round that I'll have on the bottom of the workout description for you, and then we'll move into our work set. So the work set today is a long one. It's 30-minute AMRAP, so it's a long haul. So I want you guys to keep in mind, this is not a sprint, okay? This is not a sprint, and I want you guys to focus your attention on steady state flow and repeatable efforts in our runs, all right, or our run variation, okay? So as is, the workout has 800-meter run, squat thrust plus squat for 15. I'll explain what that's all about as well. L-Sit of 15 seconds, run 800 meters, single arm kettlebell swing, 14 alternating reps. And we'll talk about that as we get going because it takes a little specific skill work there. And then we have a V-up of 10 reps and then repeat. So taking this down at a nice moderate intensity, trying to maintain a steady state flow throughout this work set. I'm excited to bring this one to you guys. I've been wanting to bring it to you guys for a while, but I hope you guys enjoy, and let's continue the celebration along. All right, you guys, let's get ourselves warmed up. Let's get those feet under the hips, big stretch over your head. We're gonna reach it to one side, we're gonna come back through and reach it to the other side. Take those arms all the way up, little shrug. Come back down, scratch your back, and then reach through the elbow. We'll come back up, big stretch. Scratch your back and then reach through the elbow. Good, come back up, big stretch. We're gonna forward fold all the way down, touch those toes. Walk up your shins. Come down, frame a foot. Step back into your lizard. Inside hand's gonna reach up and we're gonna rotate. Forearm to the floor. We'll come back up, big stretch, rotate, and back up. And rotate, and back up. Plant the hand, outside hand's gonna reach up to the sky. We'll come back down, step back into our down dog, reaching those hips super high, we'll come back into our plank, step the other foot up, inside hand reaches, and then rotate, forearm to the floor, come back up, big stretch, rotate, forearm to the floor, big stretch, and rotate, forearm to the floor, and big stretch. We'll plant that hand, outside hand, big reach up. Come back down, step back into the down dog. Just take a moment here to walk those heels down 3 times. Nice and gentle. Back and forth, we'll come back into our plank. Tiptoe those feet all the way up. We're gonna roll ourselves up, big stretch. Big reach to one side, reach to the other side. Come back down with the hands. Let's get you guys fired up. All right, pause the video. If there's anything else you'd like to take down for some gentle warm-up, please do so. I'm gonna get you guys fired up with the first piece, which is gonna get our core worked up and ready to go. All right, our first phase of warm-up today is gonna kickstart off with some plank to down dog and some core work. So I'm gonna turn profile and get myself set up into my plank. So my hands under my shoulders, gonna pull the ribs in and press my shoulders up. We're gonna pull the hips back and up. Softening the knees a little bit, the ankles, so that the hip is a nice angle, and we have that nice little triangle up there. We'll come back into our plank, pulling those ribs and pressing the shoulders up to the sky, so we have that nice solid open upper back. And we come back into that good angle at the hip. From here, we want to focus on those shoulders, wrapping around the body. So we want to focus on having a neck. So nice and set through that midsection, nice and active through the shoulder the entire time. Once we're done our plank to down dogs, we're going to go into our side plank. And our side plank can look like a few things. So we can get ourselves set up from our tabletop, and we can work on stepping back and then rotating with stacked feet, pressing into that floor, reaching up with the hand, keeping the hand down, across the chest wherever you need it. You can also blade your feet, so one foot in front of the other, continuing to actively press down through the shoulder. Now, another variation you can play with is a supported side plank. So straightening out one leg from the table, turning and squeezing through the glutes so we're in this nice open position as we open up into that nice supported side plank. We're still active through that balancing shoulder, we're reaching through this arm, and we're trying to keep our hips in line with our torso. So we squeeze and open up that position as best we can. So whatever variation allows you to take that down and put yourself in the best position, mostly for that balancing shoulder, take that down. We got 15 seconds per side. From here, we're gonna move into a forearm plank rock. So with the forearm plank rock, we're gonna get ourselves set up, nice forearm position. Elbows are under the shoulders, pushing through that upper back. We step into that nice plank position, pushing the shoulders up, pulling the ribs in, and then we're gonna pull forward, and then push back with the upper body. Pull with the elbows, push back with the upper body. So it's a lot of activation through this side body, this lat, not so much pushing with the toes and just rocking back and forth. We want to think pull and push with the upper body, and the feet just kind of come along for the ride. So take your time with that. Range is going to be determined by that kind of shoulder stability and strength, plus range of motion. So keep that in mind. Doesn't matter how far or back you go, I want you to focus on position the entire time. Once we're done our forearm plank rock, we get to lay on our stomach. We're gonna work our arch hold. So we're gonna work on a nice static hold, either both arms and legs, so toes together, eyes down, pressing the armpits into the floor. We're gonna inhale, reach and lift into that nice extension position. Or we are going to inhale, one hand, one foot, and down. Other hand, one hand, one foot, and down. So we can do either one, depending on what you're more comfortable with. But regardless of the option we choose, we're thinking length. So we're trying to lengthen through the fingers, through the toes, to make sure that our positioning is nice and strong. Quick little recap on that opening phase. We have a plank to down dog, 3 to 5. Side plank, 15 seconds a side. Forearm plank rock of 20 seconds. Arch hold of 10 to 30 seconds. 2 rounds, take it down. Pause that video, get yourself ready to go. Hit that core position, hit those shoulders, get it all ready. We're going to talk about our next phase of work, which is going to talk a little bit about balance. All right, our next phase of work is going to kickstart off with a little bit of run skill work and a little balance work. So I'm going to turn to the side, nice and tall. My hands are going to be kind of in that 90-degree position at the elbow, okay? And from here, what I'm going to work on is that butt kick. So I'm going to pull my heel straight up underneath my glute. So I'm pulling straight up and then down. Straight up, down. Trying to keep that foot relaxed and that body upright. So you'll notice that the knee goes slightly forward, not up, and the foot comes out front. So this would be more like our standing march, where we want to think about our butt kick, creating a little four with our knee and our leg. So take our time with that. First things first, get the position. Once we get the position, then start focusing on trying to keep that foot relaxed so that we can hit that floor at the same position every single time in the ball of the foot. So play with it. You can take it at a marching pace. You can take it to a jogging pace. You can do a sprinting pace. You can take it down any way you like, but again, we want to make sure that that heel is coming straight up and we're pulling that heel up with our hamstring, not our quad. After that, we're going to grab ourselves a dumbbell, and we're going to work through our dumbbell deadlifts to start warming up that hinge. So what we have for you, I'm going to stand over top of the dumbbell. We're going to work that sumo deadlift, because it's going to allow us to work on the same position that we're going to work on during our swings. So I'm going to take my hips back, maintaining that good hip angle. I'm going to lower the hips down, taking hold of the dumbbell. I'm going to push through those legs to stand up tall. From here, I'm going to take the dumbbell as far down as I feel comfortable. Feet are staying flat, dumbbells through the midfoot, and then I push through that leg. So I'm trying to maintain that good, strong back position. And I'm trying to keep my weight through my midfoot as I push through those feet. Thinking about range of motion, pushing that edge a little bit, but only pushing it as far as you can maintain your position. Our next movement, we get to use our dumbbell again in our front scale raise. So we're going to grab our dumbbell, and we're going to hold it to one side. Whatever side the dumbbell is on, that's the side that the leg is going to be balancing with, and the other side will be doing the lifting. So we're going to squeeze, we're going to set, and we're going to lift that leg up and come back down. Trying to stay as isolated and stable on this side as we can, and working on that good balance. We'll do 5 per side, flipping the dumbbell, and then we'll move into some more scale raises, but to the side. So again, the leg that is, or the side that's holding the dumbbell will be the leg that's balancing. So I'll set myself up good and strong through my core. I'll point my toe out to the side so the top of my foot points straight ahead, and I'm going to lift that leg up and bring it down. Isolating that leg that's doing the lifting and keeping my torso and leg that's doing the balancing and stabilizing as still as possible. Try not to lean, try not to dump that dumbbell down, but stay as tall and as upright as we can. So listen to the body, only take the leg up as high as you can maintain those positions. Last but not least, we're going to bring it all together. We're going to work on our goblet squat. So our feet are underneath of our hips, / just outside the hips and shoulders, nice and tall in our regular squat stance, and the dumbbell's underneath the chin in our goblet position. So from here, we're going to take the dumbbell, keep the dumbbell under the chin, and we're going to take the hips to the heels, staying as upright as I can in that good squat stance, in that good position. So drawing the hips down, staying upright as possible in that good squat position, because we're going to use that in our work set today in a unloaded manner in our workout. So this will give us a good chance to work on posture, correcting any of those squat issues that we have perhaps in our air squat with a little assistance from the dumbbell. So taking our time, we got 5 reps, 3-1-3 tempo, take that down good and solid. And as a quick recap, what we got is our butt kick and our pose method for 20 seconds, dumbbell deadlift for 5 a side, dumbbell front scale raise for 5 a side, dumbbell side scale raise for 5 a side, and a goblet squat of 5 at a 3-1-3 tempo. 2 rounds of that, taking that down, working that nice smooth warm up, moving us into our practice round that we're going to use to get ourselves primed and ready and work on some skills. So pause the video, take that down, let's move into our work set, talk about some cool little work sets. So the workout is here. So we're going to work through a practice round just to get a good feel of some of these movements. What we have is a run of 800 meters, or a run equivalent. So there'll be some workout options in that workout description, so check those out depending on what you want to do in place of that run. I'll have a treadmill option, a row, a bike, skipping, so I'll have some different options there for you guys to take down. After that though, we have a cool little hybrid movement today, and we're going to do 1 squat thrust plus 1 squat. So 1 rep is the 2 movements joined together. The squat thrust can be done any way you'd like, jump or step. So I'll show you 1 full rep with a jump and a 1 full rep with a step. So we come down, I do my squat thrust, jump in, stand tall, do my air squat. That's 1, all right? So then I would do it again. I can either again though, step back, step into my squat stance, stand all the way up, and then squat. That would be 2 reps. Or any hybrid of that squat thrust. So you could jump back, step in, step back, jump in, whatever you want to do. But you'll do 1 squat thrust, 1 air squat, and you'll do that combo for 15 reps. So you'll get yourself into a nice little flow. My suggestion would be count the rep after the squat, all right? Just so you keep it consistent and allow yourself to keep one spot where you're counting so you don't mess yourself up, counting 2 separate movements, okay? So 1 good squat thrust to 1 air squat, and you can get that into a nice flow as you get moving through that. Now, after that, we're going to do an L-Sit, and we have a few different variations we can play with for the L-Sit. So what we can work on, all right, is a dumbbell L-Sit, working with dumbbells as a little parallette. We could grab some yoga blocks, we can put them in our hands, push into the floor, work with that as a little lift. Encyclopedias, textbooks, whatever you have that you can put your hands up on, push down into, like parallettes, you can use, or you can do a non-L-sit variation, which is going to be more along the lines of boat pose. So I'm going to show you our variation, our boat pose variation, and I'm going to grab you some dumbbells, and I'll show you that option with the dumbbells. So our boat pose variation, we can take our feet in, sitting nice and tall through our torso and our body, pulling those feet in, my fingertips are loosening on the floor, and I'm continually pulling those knees into the chest, maintaining that good compression and that tall posture. Now, if that's a little too easy, what we can do, make it a little more challenging, is lift a leg up and hold that position and just alternate between those 15 seconds of 8 and 7, or we can do an 8 and 8, depending on you, but you're going to split the workout between the two sides. Now, also, if that's a little bit too easy, you're like, I could do a little bit more, that's fine. You're going to set yourself up nice and tall, pull those knees in, lift the feet up, both, and hold that with a finger assist or unassisted through the hands, working on keeping the body tall, the knees pulling in, and holding that nice tall posture. So you can kind of play around with any variation of that, but we're always looking to keep that back straight and that posture tall. Now, with the L-sit, we have parallettes. I'm going to get that going for you right away. So we have two dumbbells of the same size, or we have something I can use for parallettes. Now, those are going to be positioned right beside ourselves, so our hands are by our hips, and what we're going to do is have three variations of the L-sit. We get set up through the shoulders, they're back and down, elbows are tight, legs are straight and toes together. I'm going to push into those dumbbells, keeping the chest open and the body tall, and hold this support position. So that would be stage one, maintaining the support, hips off the floor. Now, with this as well, we can move into the next variation, which is from the support position, we lift a foot and hold that position nice and strong, and we bank that time, 8 and 8 or 8 and 7, depending on what you want to do for that 15-second hold. Now the other variation is a full L-sit on the parallettes. So we get set up, nice and set, I push into my dumbbells, and then I'm going to pull into those dumbbells in that nice position, working on my hands, staying in line with my hips, and I'm pulling everything inwards to lift both feet off the floor. So we have a couple different options there. Now, if you're looking at this going, that's really tough, and I'd like to help try building that, you can also use 2 chairs as your parallettes and be a little bit more higher angle and do those same 3 options. So you can kind of experiment with those key points and kind of have some fun. If you have any questions about that different option with the higher surface, never hesitate, shoot me a message and I'll show you a couple different variations you can play with that to build that L-sit. Now, the L-sit is a very tough, challenging piece, but pick your challenge, pick your movement, have some fun with it. You got 15 seconds of a hold to accumulate in that round. Once you're done your L-sit, you're going to move into another run. So you're going to run, or your run equivalent for the same distance that you have in the work set before, in the beginning of the work set. So you'll hit that again, and you're going to move into a really cool exercise, the single arm dumbbell or kettlebell swing, alternating arms. So what we're going to do, first off, is we deadlift it up, holding with one hand. I'm going to turn to the side and just demonstrate the single arm swing for a moment. My feet are in my squat stance. I stand nice and tall. The dumbbell comes back, and I use those legs and hips to work on elevating the dumbbell. My arm is just a cable. It's not lifting the dumbbell, it's just guiding it up and down. All right? I give it the arm and the dumbbell energy through my legs and hips. Now with that, we can either stick with just half and half reps, so be 7 and 7 if you're not comfortable doing the alternating. So you just do 7 on one side, 7 on the other side. Now if you're confident and comfortable with the alternating, you'll set up in the same position. I'm going to show you facing the front. Same swing, we just alternate on the way down, switching hands at that nice swing. All right, so you're just going to alternate hands back and forth. The swing itself stays the same. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of a challenge just to work the coordination factor of it. So if you'd like to stay a little lighter with that swing, to practice the alternating, be my guest, have some fun with it, and see where it takes you today. Because it's really cool for coordination and for rhythm. So keep in mind, we're changing on the way down, alternating back and forth. If you're interested, it doesn't have to go super high. You can even start just by going, okay, I'm gonna work on that nice little swing, a little lower, just so I can get used to alternating my hands back and forth and take it down that way. So that's a nice way to start in the practice round, or even keep it that way for the workout if it's a little challenging and confusing in the body. So we have our single arm kettlebell swing, 14 alternating, or 7 and 7. You just want to do half and half. Totally fine with that. Our last exercise is the V-up for 10 reps. And we have a couple different variations for you on this as well. So with the V-up, we have our full double leg V-up. Hands come down, I snap up, work through that nice smooth movement, upper body, lower body moving together. I can also do a single leg as I work back and forth, reaching for my toes, trying to keep my leg as straight as I can. Now, keeping the leg straight is super tough and not going down today. We can do the double leg tuck up or single leg tuck up. So again, we're meeting in the middle at the hip crease of the leg and the upper body, trying to join the thigh and the chest together, okay? So that's another option. If you're looking at that going, I kind of want that nice tight crunch position and work my hollow, but I can't hinge that much, we can work on our hollow up. So our hollow up, we lay nice and long. I'm gonna pull my ribs and hips in, so pulling that sternum and belly button together. Squeeze, come down. Squeeze, come down. Squeeze, come down. If 2 feet don't allow that low back to press into the floor, we can work on a single leg hollow up, all right, to work on that engagement with a foot assist on the floor. We can also give you 2 options that's going to focus primarily on the upper body portion. Option number 1 is a little slower. Legs come up into that nice L. Hands reach towards the toe. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in as I reach for my toes. Come down, shoulders touch. Reach, come down. Reach, come down. And it's a nice slow movement without momentum. So that's a great option. Especially in today's workout, this is a nice option because it's slower. It's meant to be a little longer workout, so you do have time to work this movement today if you'd like. It's not as fast-paced. It gives you an opportunity to really work that tight contraction. Last but not least, the Pike Sit Up. You can touch above our head, come down, touch our toe, roll, touch, come back down. So a little bit more dynamic. We try and keep the legs super straight so we can stretch the hamstring out a little bit and also work on that good pike position. Like I say, it is dynamic, so it allows us to use a little momentum, a little speed, if you'd like to go a little faster in that sit-up. So check that option, practice a couple in the practice round, see what you want to do today, and then go from there. So in terms of our workout again, we have a 30-minute AMRAP. It's a longer workout, so this is not a sprint. Run 800 meters, or an equivalent of that run. Squat thrust plus squat, 1 of each equals 1 rep, and you'll do that 15 times. L-sit hold or L-sit variation, 15-second hold. Run 800 meters again, or that equivalent. Single arm kettlebell swing, 14 alternating, or 7 and 7. And then 10 V-up or V-up variation. Repeat that for 30 minutes. So it's going to be a fair amount of work today. Again, moderate intensity. Don't go out hot. Keep it smooth and steady, and try and repeat those efforts so those runs or the run variation are very similar in time frame in all your rounds. So we want to keep them very consistent and steady. I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's going to kickstart off the week the right way. Please, please, please enjoy and let me know about it, how it goes. But Wylie, Joel, and Colton, happy belated birthday. I hope you guys had a fantastic day yesterday. Let's keep that celebration continuing through. We'll have a good time. As always, work for quality. Have a ton of fun. We'll see you tomorrow, you guys. Bye.